Honestly, this is going to become the Danny and Erin show, and I'm not even sorry about it. Hello, my name is Jen and welcome back to my channel, the place where we talk all things teen dramas. As we know, My Life with the Water Boys comes out in a couple of weeks, and so I thought it'd be a fun idea to do a predictions video. This is basically just me getting a chance to talk all things season 2 of Water Boys, really. Before we start, I'd just like to point out that there is a book sequel to My Life with the Water Boys called My Return to the Water Boys. However, from what I have read online, the TV series doesn't actually follow the book sequel. So, also, there is a trailer that has come out for it, which I'm going to be referring to a lot. Also, I'm doing this in 3 sections, so I will be doing returning cast and new faces, hence why I've got my whiteboard here. Then I will be doing predictions, and then there's a 3rd section, and you'll see what it is. So we have a list of the returning cast. Naturally, to absolutely nobody's surprise, we have the Walter family and Jackie. There would not be a show without the Walter family and Jackie, hence My Life with the Water Boys. We also have Hayley, Kiley, Aaron, Skylar, Tara, Uncle Richard, Grace, Olivia, Mato, who, is that how you even say his name? Mato, I'm sorry for the pronunciation. Dylan, who was Cole's football buddy from season 1, and Coach Alan. Basically, this isn't really much of a shock. It's basically everybody who was in season 1, minus Nick, which I think is interesting. I haven't seen anything about him coming back, unless I've missed something somewhere. But yeah, that is all the returning faces. So let's get on to the fun bit, which is the new cast. So I'm sure that there's going to be more new cast people than shown here. This is just from what I could find. It was on a Tudum article. So Tudum is part of Netflix, which I'm going to take their word on this one. And like I said, I'm sure this isn't going to be all the new faces. Okay, so firstly we have Natalie Sharp, who is playing Bea Hartford. Now, she is a champion rodeo rider who catches the eye of a water boy. And thanks to a clip, I'm pretty sure now we know which water boy's eyes she catches.
It's a tea on Annie Oakley over there. She's teaching him dangerous rodeo stuff.
Also, that look. I'm sorry, has he ever looked at Jackie like that? Like, I'm sure he has, but that look though. Anyway, it looks like she's going to be one of the several girls that is going to be kind of floating around Alex in season 2. Which I'm okay with. My only concern is that I did look her up because I knew Natalie from BH90210 and she is 29. And now this is Teen Drama Land. So 29, as we know, could be anywhere between the ages of 17 to 30 for her character. What I am hoping is that if she is being particularly flirty with Alex, is that they kind of keep her on the side of under 25, preferably like 18, 19. And I only say that because if it turns out that they do more than flirt, which I don't think that they will, I don't want to get into weird age gaps or anything like that. Like we stayed apart from that, thankfully, and I don't really want to start that right now. But otherwise, I'm very intrigued with her character. So next up, we have got Carson McCormack, who plays Zach. He is known in his description to be a strikingly handsome senior, commanding and a bit dangerous, and tries to make attempts to get to know Nathan a bit better. This one I'm actually super excited to see. Nathan was always one of my favourite Walter Boy characters. His story in season 1, I loved bits of it, I hated bits of it, but like overall as a character, he was one of my favourites to see. And so to see somebody new trying to get to know him a little bit better, I am super intrigued with that. I'm intrigued to see how it is that Zach is going to get to know Nathan a little bit better. I do have some thoughts, which I'll bring up later. But other than that, like I said, I love Nathan, and I just really want to see what dynamic they end up having. Next up, we have Janet Kidder, who plays Joanne Wagner. Now, Joanne is actually Grace's mum. She is also very old-fashioned and old school, also a friend of Catherine, and she basically butts heads with the Walter family, in particular with George and with Will, over their glamping B&B plans that they've got going on. Not much to say here. We didn't really see any of her in the trailer. However, I do feel like that is going to be her storyline. That said, she probably will also end up having scenes with Catherine, as they are good friends, and also with Grace as mother-daughter. Next up, and I'm going to do this slightly different, we have got Jake Manley, who is playing Wilder Holt. Now, he is a rising star with the Bronc Riders under 25. I'm not quite sure what that is because I'm not big on the competitive bull riding circuit, but I'm assuming it's like a huge deal. It also says that he is a competitive person who crosses paths with Alex. So far, a lot of these connections are all to do with Alex. This one I really can't say much about. He wasn't, to the best of my knowledge, in the trailer at all. If he was, it was like blink and you miss it. What I'm intrigued about is how he is going to cross the paths with Alex. I feel like maybe he will be the catalyst as to how Alex meets Bea Hartford or talks to Bea Hartford, because like they said that she was very competitive as well, and so I feel like maybe she could be teaching Alex a few tricks. Maybe, like I said, maybe he's a catalyst to get Alex to meet Bea Hartford. There you go, there's a prediction for him. And finally, we have got, and I'm really not going to pronounce this correctly, so I'm sorry, Ryle Downs, who plays Maria. Now, this is the one that intrigues me the most, because Maria is meant to be a flirty girl who meets Alex on the first day of driver's ed when she sits next to him, much to the dismay of Kiley. Now, we saw nothing of Maria in the trailer at all. However, what this does tell me is that Kiley obviously still has feelings for Alex. Why, I'm still trying to figure that one out, but she still has feelings for Alex. And I can kind of feel like that's going to be where they're going with the storyline, because she wouldn't be dismayed if, I feel, Maria went and sat next to Alex and was just acting as a friend. However, they specified that she is a flirty girl, and so I feel like she's going to flirt with Alex a lot, potentially become a potential love interest for him, be another one of the girls that, like I said, was hanging around him. I'm just very, very intrigued to see where we go with this Maria storyline, especially since, like I said, we didn't really get to see much of her in the trailer at all. But yeah, they are all of the new faces, and the reason why I brought them up is because I might end up talking about them again later in the video. Okay, so let's get into some predictions. First of all, let's talk Will and, by association, I guess, Hayley. So we are definitely going ahead with this glamping B&B storyline that Will was wanting to get put into action last season. However, it looks like it is mostly going to be George and Will that are going to have that storyline, because Hayley we never really got to see much of in the trailer. In fact, was she even in the trailer? I'm not quite sure now. However, I feel like Hayley's storyline is going to involve that text that she got last season from Morgan, whoever Morgan is. I really don't want it to be like some secret love affair or something that she's had, especially not after everything that Will and Hayley went through last season. I feel like, more and more that I'm thinking about it, more and more I'm feeling like maybe that's where they're going with it. Maybe not a secret love affair, but like somebody that's like interested in Hayley in a sense, especially if Will's working so much on the glamping B&B. I feel like maybe that could be their issue for this season. Just, look, they just got married. Just don't break them up or do any, like, affairs, anything with them right now. Like I said, I'm happy for Morgan to be, like, an issue for her, but, like, that is basically it. Since we spoke Hayley, let's talk Tara. There's not much to really say here. Tara annoyed the heck out of me last season. That being said, however, we did finish off a season with Nick coming back to her. Interesting thing, like I said before, is that I haven't seen if Nick is even going to be in the second season. If he is, I feel like a lot of his storyline will be around that and Uncle Richard, who she did meet at the wedding and who she seemed to form quite the connection with. If Nick is not in, I feel like it will just be Richard and Tara. And I feel like that's the more interesting one because I feel like there could be like a lot of resistance from maybe going out with him, like with the whole Jackie thing. Who knows? Like maybe one or both of them are like a little apprehensive that way. Other than that, though, I feel that's her story next season. Her and Richard. With or without Nick. Maybe without Nick. There we go. Without Nick. Nathan and Skylar. This one's an interesting one for me because I never really got into the Nathan and Skylar train. I felt like Nathan did a lot of the running last season and a lot of the chasing. I felt like partly Skylar got maybe peer pressured into dating him. When they actually did date, I was like, meh, feeling it but not really feeling it. Which is why Zach is really, really intriguing me because I want them to be together this season. Nathan and Skylar, that is. Because I want to see how Skylar would react to somebody else wanting the attention of Nathan, be it good or bad. So it looks like it's going to be good attention that Zach is giving Nathan. And I feel like this could help Skylar. I feel like we could actually really get a glimpse as to what Skylar is feeling towards Nathan. I feel like Skylar in a position where he is jealous could be something good. Or just something intriguing or curious. Sorry, intriguing is going to be what I use a lot here. I feel just like the three of them, that Nathan, Zach, Skylar dynamic, could be interesting, especially since they said that Zach was dangerous. And we did get that glimpse last season of Skylar not being all that impressed about Nathan bull riding. So, I don't know. I feel like this is just something that could be interesting to see. And finally, I'm bringing him into this, Isaac. And the reason why is because it looks like Isaac is actually playing football this season. And that's exciting. That's really exciting. I feel like it could, again, be an interesting dynamic between him and Cole, because Cole was very anti-football last season. And I feel like to now have Parker, but more importantly, Isaac, somebody who is at the same school as him, now playing football as well, will bring up a lot of those insecurities from last season. Also, side note, Isaac having a crush on somebody is something that I want, and I will go one further. Let Isaac and Grace start forming a friendship. I say friendship tentatively. I'm intrigued to see if there could be something there. But for now, I feel like a friendship to begin with, and then that'll give me an idea whether I want them together or not. So, yeah. Isaac. Grace. I guess that's my prediction for him. So, as you can see, I've left some people off of the predictions. And we're going to flip the board here. That's right. We left 6 people off of the predictions. Specifically, Alex, Jackie, Cole, Danny, Kylie, and Aaron. And the reason why is because I feel like when I was making this video, I was like, well, I could put them in the prediction section, but then it got to a point where I was like, no. I have this bigger prediction in my head, but for this to work, I need to talk about these guys all in like the same section because they all kind of in a way interconnect. So firstly, Alex, Jackie and Cole. So where we left off, Alex and Jackie were still dating. They hadn't broken up, and Cole had just kissed Jackie, and Jackie had just Usain bolted it back to New York City. So over the summer break, we know, yeah, Cole was still there. He was at summer school. Alex was at like his horse riding, whatever, and Jackie was in New York. And now I feel like Alex would have no idea what has gone on with the kiss. Mostly because I feel like, well, there's a few reasons why. Firstly, I feel like Jackie, there's no way that she would have spoken to any of the Walter boys over the, however long it was, summer, I think it was, over the summer. Save for Danny, who is in New York with Jackie, so I feel like she kind of maybe had to talk to him. But I definitely don't think she's spoken to Alex, and I definitely don't think she's spoken to Cole. And because Alex has been in his horse riding camp, I really don't think he's spoken to Cole much either. And the reason why I think that he might not know about the kiss just yet is this.
I haven't been completely honest with you.
I feel like maybe there would be no reason for Jackie to say this. Maybe he has a hunch that something like this has happened, which is why he is less into Jackie to begin with. But as Jackie said,
everybody's talking about it. It's complicated.
And she's right. It probably is very complicated, especially with the 3 boys at the moment. So honestly, I feel like this dance episode is going to be like one of the first couple of episodes in the season. And I also feel like Alex may have a hunch. However, I do also feel like maybe Jackie has tried to tell him, but she keeps getting interrupted, which it's the Walter boys. I wouldn't put them past that. Or, like I said, Cole's tried to tell him, and again, interruptions. This is where things are going to get interesting, because my guess with Alex is, as it has been told to us, he is now hotter, flirtier, more confident, for sure. And I feel like a lot of those attributes fit somebody else in the family, and that is Cole. I feel like, okay, if Alex, and we know that this is going to happen, he does get more attention from everybody, I feel like we're going to get a version of the Alex effect. I feel like that is where we are heading. We're getting Cole light, I guess you could say. Somebody who is relevant in the attention, somebody who is focusing on their riding and their rodeo stuff. So I feel like with Alex in particular, he may become like the lighter version of Cole. And I do also feel like if he saw last season, he saw Jackie was into Cole, even before they started dating. I think he could see that. Plus, there was that whole Paige issue, and I feel like if he is there and he's like, well, 2 of my girlfriends both have not, both have gone after Cole or somebody like Cole, and a lot of his issues was to do with the fact that Cole was a popular Walter boy. He was getting all the attention, and if Alex is getting that now, then I feel like we are getting like a Cole White situation here. Even if we don't get like a Cole White situation, I feel like we're going to get a worse version of Alex before we get a better version of Alex. It's going to be somebody that kind of maybe lets all the popularity maybe get to his head a little bit, but at the same time is also, becoming more confident, more fun. I don't know. I just can see like a Cole White situation happening here. Next up, we have got Kiley. So Kiley is an interesting one to me because she was nowhere to be seen in the trailer whatsoever. And I feel, she was nowhere to be seen in the trailer whatsoever. And I feel like that's a good thing because a character of Kiley's standard, and especially what happened to her at the end of last season, I feel there's a reason why she wasn't in the trailer, and that's because she plays an important part. Here we go. Kiley is Alex's best friend, and where we left off, Kiley had just been told by Alex that she was so cool, practically a dude. Kiley clearly has feelings for Alex still, but I feel like, okay, she's just been told that by her best friend. So her best friend has just left for the summer and has come back looking completely different. Now, with all the attention that Alex is getting, I feel like that will affect Kiley. Also, the fact that Alex might be doing more rodeo stuff on the rodeo circuit or training for that, I feel like he would have less time for Kiley. And I feel like that will affect Kiley a lot. I feel like Alex either A, gets caught up in all the attention that he's getting, which means that he kind of pushes Kiley to the side, or B, I feel like Kiley just sees all the attention and she's just like, I don't know what I'm doing here anymore. And so both of them kind of pull away a little bit. Alex and Kiley, not my favourite couple. I feel like Kiley could do so much better. I feel like Alex needs to do a little bit of growing up, maybe. A lot of figuring out about his feelings. And a lot of convincing to me that he actually is Kiley's endgame. But I do feel like season 2 is going to set the wheels in motion for a Kiley and Alex endgame, because clearly that is where we are heading with this show. So I feel like if Alex, like I said, is spending less time with Kiley, I feel it's in Kiley's best interest maybe to start hanging out with a guy or somebody else. I'm not even just saying like to make Alex upset or mad. I'm just saying that could be a thing that she does. So yeah, that is my Kiley one, and we're coming back to Kiley in a little bit. Because next up, I want to talk about Danny and Aaron. Now, I will not lie. Danny is my favourite Walter boy, period. And I adore Aaron. And my only wish for season 2 for Aaron was to get more of her and Danny. And what in the ever-loving Notebook Nelly scene is this? This is all I just wanted for Aaron this season. This, and yeah, I just wanted it for Aaron and I wanted it for Danny so much. I loved their friendship towards the end of last season. So to see them together this season is something that I really want. And I feel like with Danny and Aaron, it's an interesting one. Because I feel like in that clip, yeah, it was raining, but also they looked like they were in a car park. And so I'm now wondering if maybe they are going to start dating in secret. And to me, this actually makes a lot of sense because A, it gives Aaron and Danny some time to try and figure out what the heck is going on between them. But also B, there is a whole Cole factor. Danny being Cole's twin and Aaron being Cole's ex-girlfriend. And so I feel like them maybe secretly dating to begin with actually could make a good shout. But anyway, that is my prediction for Aaron and Danny. Just a date. That is it. Just more of whatever that clip was, please. And thank you. Next up, we have Jackie. So, in the synopsis, it says that Jackie is trying to keep Cole at bay while reconnecting with Alex. Or trying to. Because I do feel like at some point they will break up. I feel like that clip that we saw earlier, the dance clip, I feel like it's going to be Alex's breaking point. So, I'm thinking if this dance is like the second episode, maybe they have like a slight hiccup in like the first episode. Like I said, Alex kind of gets like some kind of feeling about what's happened between her and Cole, and it's like keeping her at bay for that reason. I do feel like her big thing this season is going to be figuring out where she belongs.
The more that I try to fit in, the further it feels like I am from them.
Just takes time, New York.
Firstly, I love the fact that he still calls her New York. However, like I said, I feel like that's her big thing. I feel like in New York, there's the presence of her mum, her dad, her sister is way too big there. I feel like Colorado, I feel if she goes back to the Walters and they find out what happened with Cole, the Littleys, I feel like are going to be less warm and welcoming towards her. Isaac maybe. Alex definitely, now that I'm thinking about it. So I feel like she's really not going to quite know where she fits into this whole thing, where she belongs. I just feel like that is her whole thing this season, especially if Richard and Tara start dating. I feel like if Richard and Tara start dating, she's going to be even less clueless as to where she belongs. So, can I point out, that clip earlier from the dance, was that a crown? Was she crowned like the prom queen or homecoming queen, whatever dance it is? Because that's actually pretty cool if it is. And actually, that might make her feel even more like she's trying to figure out where she belongs as well. But yeah, I feel like there's a lot of Jackie this season, and I feel like it's something that she needs to do is figure out before she gets into any big end game love connection. I feel like her big thing to begin with is trying to figure out where she belongs and who she is. So yeah, I feel like that's Jackie, which brings us to Cole. Like I said, these guys are all interconnecting, and you're going to have to stick with me here a little bit. Cole, where does that leave him? So, Alex is now cosplaying as Cole 2.0. Jackie, like I said, she's trying to keep Cole at bay. Danny and Aaron are also dating now. Cole, I will say this about Cole. I will say that there was a scene in season 1 where the coach was asking Cole if he could help train, or if he wanted to help train the newbies. And I feel like that is going to be a big thing for Cole this season. I feel like the synopsis said that he was going to take on a new role at school, and I feel like that might be the new role. Also this.
I'm tired of being a failure, so I've been looking into college applications. What?
He is trying to get his life together. That being said, I feel like Isaac playing football could be a catalyst to Cole maybe forgetting how much he loved football and how much he loved playing football in particular. I feel like it might maybe bring him back to his more wilder, crazier ways. Where like he used to get drunk a lot and everything. Here's my interesting thing, okay? So, we do see this clip of him and Dylan. So, him and Dylan are clearly fighting. Yeah, it could be a bunch of things. Cole could be drunk. Dylan could be drunk. It could be a throwback to season 1 because there was some animosity between them because Cole was upset that Dylan was taking his place in the football team. And then there could also be Dylan could have said anything about any of the Walters, really. So, here's where things get interesting. Because if Dylan now is somebody that Cole does not hang out with very much anymore, Alex is cosplaying as Cole, Jackie is keeping him at bay, and Danny and Erin are now dating. Now, I feel Cole would be okay with Danny and Erin. I feel like he would. However, he might be like, you guys have more time, or maybe he might be like, I need time. So his second go-to in Danny, he might not hang out with him as much, leaves him with Kiley. Bear with me here, because I did say this was all interconnecting. And this might be the crazy theory. So I did say that I felt like Kiley needed somebody to hang out with because Grace might have issues or a lot of drama with her mum in particular maybe, or hanging out with Jackie. Jackie might be having issue with Alex and Cole in particular. Skylar has his Nathan dramas. So really, who does that leave Kiley to hang out with? Alex. Alex, though, is keeping her at bay, right? He's spending less and less time with her, so she could gravitate towards Cole. Now, I'm not saying they need to start a relationship. Far from it, because if these two do interact, I don't need a third girl to get into the whole Cole and Alex thing. What I do like is their friendship. They had these 2 scenes last season, and one was when Cole was drunk, and then the other one at the wedding when Kiley asked Cole to dance, and Cole was like, no thank you. So I feel like if Cole and Kiley naturally gravitate towards each other, that could be the catalyst for Alex starting to realise, oh, I made a huge mistake. Oh, they're friends now. Oh no, the one girl that I thought had my back, that I thought I could rely on, is now best friends with the guy that has kissed 2 of my girlfriends. So long story short, Alex cosplaying as Cole 2.0, Jackie not quite sure where she belongs. These 2, just get them to date. This one here, get her to start a friendship with Cole. I'm actually liking this idea more and more because I feel like, as I said before, Alex is going to get the most jealous if she forms a friendship. That's it. No relationship, just a friendship with Cole. So that's it for my predictions. Like I said, I've got one wild prediction here, and the others may not be predictions. They might just be where I think storylines are going. But I thought it might be fun to come back to this video once My Life with the Water Boys Season 2 has come out, just to see how far off I was with my predictions and to talk about what actually happened. So, until then, leave a comment down below. What do you think might happen in Season 2 of My Life with the Water Boys? Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.